Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel. And today, so City Skylines has just come out on PS4 for free, which is excellent news. And I'm just going to show you how you do the first little bits. We're not going to look at any of this stuff really. Just get into the very first game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I've always shied away from buying this on the PlayStation, and now I don't have to because they've given it us for free, which is excellent news. But the game has quite a large, steep learning curve. But as soon as you put in a couple of sessions, a couple of half-hour sessions, things will become a lot easier for you. So believe me, I haven't played this. First thing you do is push L3. Before you do anything, push L3 and you see it's paused the timer at the bottom. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I do that straight away just so you can start having a look. Now, you'll get used to the controls. You can use the trigger buttons to zoom in, zoom out. You can zoom quite closely. Let's look at this broken wharf. You can see the actual fidelity of the game is really quite good for the PlayStation. Now, as you can see, most of this stuff here is all grayed out. It's all locked. You don't get most things open until you progress through, and you get your population up and various different things. Okay, the controls you can go through. You can just go through, but what you do have in the game is there isn't a very good tutorial, really. It doesn't really help you. Now, whenever you start a game, the first thing you've got to do is connect the highway so that people can get in and out of your city. And you're only allowed to use these stupid single-size roads. So I'm not going to talk to you about how the snapping works or anything else. So just grab a road, push X, and then just drag it all the way to the edge here like that. Just do that, and then put it down, come the other way, get it on there, and just drag it over there. So all you're doing is pushing X and X again. Circle gets rid of that. What these squares are for when you actually zone the areas, your normal sort of residential, commercial, exec. So I can like make all of that sort of residential, and then people will start to move in, and they will all fill up with houses. And if I moved it to industrial over here, this would all be industrial. This isn't what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear that in mind. And commercial, as you will remember from the games of old. So there you go. So what we've done there is we've just set out a couple of things, but before anything happens whatsoever, you have to sort out the power and the water supply for your city. Okay, we haven't got any people coming in whatsoever, so depending on what the map is, one of the easiest ways just to get things sorted, to just start your city off, is just to set up in this way, and then choose a wind farm. And this is showing you where it'll place, and it'll also show you the amount of noise pollution it will give off. You see the headphones? It's saying it's going to give off noise pollution for this whole area. You can only put things down in when it's green, otherwise it will not be able to be put down. So let's just stick one there, and let's just stick another one. Now, the reason why that blue icon has appeared is because that is showing you its sort of power map, if you like. So we're going to put 2 down, and as long as each of the things is connected in that blue area, it'll share power, and we'll get more into that in a sec. But as you saw when we put this down, you see the different colors on the sort of map now. This white area is saying it's going to produce 2 megawatts. The dark area 6. The really dark area is 7. That's just showing you how windy each particular area is. It's usually windier by the coast, so it's going to be better. 8 megawatts is pretty much the highest it can ever do anyway. There's a lot there as well. So we've stuck it up there, and that will start to make power when it goes. But what we also need to do then is send out some power lines. And all you have to do with this is connect the power line in the blue area. Okay, so we're just going to click it there, and we're going to move it all the way to around about, I don't know, here. We're just going to make the power lines go, and it will automatically kill all the trees and everything else. Now, the reason why we do that, and we'll do it the other way as well, and we can actually just... where are the power lines? Here we go. If we just stick it there, and we'll go all the way over here as well, to about there. All that means is we've now, when we start putting all these buildings in, they will all automatically start picking up the power. So if a building appears here, it'll pick up the power from the power lines, and then it will share the power to the buildings next to it, and we'll see that happening. So that is a basic way of getting your power in. You can stick a coal, I think you can stick a coal power plant in if you want. That's another way of doing it. Obviously, if you look at all these things, it tells you how much pollution it gives off, how much noise pollution it gives off, if it needs any water, how much power it gives out, okay? You do that by pushing R3 on each of these things. R3 is like the inspector type thing. It just tells you whatever you're highlighting on, what it's going to do. Now, don't forget, we've not even set the... look at that. Look at that bridge. Let's get rid of that. We don't want a bridge like that. That's costing too much money. That was just pushing square to get into the bulldozer there. Right, now we've done the electricity, the little bolt there. And let's move over to the power. Sorry, the water. Now, what have we got here? A water pumping station, a drain pipe, a water tower, and pipes. Okay, so a water pumping station is what we're going to stick in. It tells you up in the top corner there what it does, everything that it will do. Now what you want to do is put it, if we zoom in on the map, you'll see, you can't really see here because there's not much tide, but if we come down here, you see the arrows is showing you which way the tide is going. So you've got to be careful of where you put your pollution, the things that are sticking out pollution. So essentially the tide is going across here and up there, and then when we get up here, it's sort of a little bit going, I think it's going up here. Is it going up? I can't really see the arrows. Yeah, look, you see that tiny little arrow there going up? That little arrow right there above the pipe. It's a tiny bit of flow going up that way. So we're going to stick our water pumping station here, and it's saying here it's going to get 120,000 cubic meters, which is great. If you stick it somewhere stupid like there, you ain't going to get anything. So just be aware of where you're going to stick your water pumping. Okay, so we're going to put one there as far as we can, bosh, and sod it, let's put 2 there. Okay, so we have 2 water pumping stations there. Quite happily, they will begin to pump water. Now, in order to connect everything up with the water, we've got to put our pipes in, and this will take us again to the similar screen as the power. Now, the first thing you want to do is connect these 2 things to each other. Pop, and you see this big blue, the big blue sort of thing. The big blue shaded area is showing that any buildings in that area will be serviced with water. So this dotted line here, nothing can be built behind this dotted line, so there's no point having the blue shaded bit above that because you will never have stuff up there. So let's just bring it to about here. It looks about okay. And then we're going to do another one, and we're going to bring it all the way to here. Under the road, why not? That's the safest place to put pipes. So there you go. We've now got pipes covering all of that area, and you can actually see the pipes there. And you can see the power lines there as well. Now, that's not the only other thing we need to do. The other thing we need to do is have some kind of waste to get rid of all the dirty water, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to want a water drain pipe. So let's grab one, and it needs to be connected, which is fine. Now, what we don't want to be doing is sticking it over here, because it'll pump out nasty water there, which will then flow up into our pumping station, which will come back into the... This is like, you know, pangolin bat guano situation. You don't want to do that. So we want to stick our water pumping over here. And obviously when it comes in, it's just going to go straight up and away from our city. So let's just stick it there. Water pumping station. Happy days. In fact, we're going to have two. We're going to have one either side of this road. Okay. And it's saying it's not connected. So let's go back to the pipe. Where is our water pipe? Here. So we'll just move a pipe from there to there. And we'll move a pipe from there. Actually, we'll move a pipe from there to there. There you go. So we now have all of our little bits and bobs connected. So power and water should be okay. If we now get rid of time, the little chirper thing is like the version of Twitter that it has. And if you just hold down L3, it will speed up. So we're now on mega time. Let's just see who's going to start coming in. Okay, look, stuff's happening. So let's put the time back to normal and just see what's going on. So people are coming into the city already. Now hold on, these things are saying they're not connected to power. So let's just try and work this out while we're here. Power lines. Okay. So let's put a power line to there. There you go. That should fix it. Those two things should now get power once they realize that they can. There you go. That one's gone. And that one's gone as well. So they now both have power. Everything should have power. People are starting to come into the city. And the good thing about these water pumping stations and things is they don't need people. They don't need roads. But if you want, you could put a little service road just so it sort of looks kind of nice. If you put a little service road along here, you know, just so it sort of looks as if your city sort of looks kind of nice. And you can also then zone these areas for other bits, but it just makes it look a little bit more realistic, I guess. So what do we got in? We have a couple of people moving in, a couple of houses being built, a couple of shops being built, it would seem. All these streets all get named. And if we look at the actual water flow, and we look at the pipes, you can see which way the water's going. Sewage is the cyan colour. Good water is the other colour. Clean water is the other colour. And you can see everybody has decent supply. And whenever you click into the pipe or onto the electricity, it shows you how the power is being shared, what is generating power, and who has power and who doesn't. And as you see, as each of these buildings populate, the coloured blue filled area will keep expanding, and then any other buildings will just hive off their electricity supply. So the only reason why we have these big pylons coming across here is to have electricity to both the water pumping station and also the water sewage plant. So this is just an easy way to sort out the very beginnings of your city before you then start doing other things. Now obviously the astute of you will notice that this city is a bit flawed, because you come in the city on this highway, but then you can't get back out again, which is no good. So you would really want to start doing a better thing with your roads. You know, and what I've just put in there is not ideal. It's, you know, that, I mean, that's a horrible junction. Those people are very upset. Look at that. It's quite interesting. You can actually look at everybody. You can look at these people. Beep. Uneducated adult going to work, but they don't have a house. And you can change their names, which is kind of cool. Terry Wright? No, we're going to call him Terry Huppler. Yes. There you go. And then off they go. You can do, when you're in this inspector mode, you can look at everything. So when you look at this person's house, it tells you how many households. So when you have a house like this, as you can see, it's one plot, but there are actually 3 households there, so you would just have to assume there are 2 houses and maybe a basement flat in there. So there are 3 out of 3 households with 6 adults and 1 teenager in it. And all of these things you can look at. So there's nobody actually moved. The house is built, but there's nobody in here at the minute, which is cool. I mean, this is very early on in the game, guys. And you can even look at your roads. You can change the name of your roads. You can change the traffic. You can look at the traffic view, so you can see all the traffic is coming in off the highway, and they're all going there, and then they're all turning around again, and then they're stopping there for some reason. That's that's as far as they're going. So the way, you know, the next video I'll show you a more interesting way of setting up your initial highway with some one-way streets, because obviously you don't need two-way bits coming here. Nobody can actually go up this road. You can only go up this road. But that's the first thing you really want to do, is get your power set up. Get your power set up, and get your sewage set up, and get your water pumping set up. Now you don't have to use what I use. You can put in a coal-fired, you know, like a nasty polluting look, you actually have to build the road first. That's one of the considerations you've got with the game, is in order to build certain structures they have to have the road next to them. As you can see, I can build it there now, but I can't build it here, so you have to have the road put in place. With the water, you can put water towers in. They can go anywhere you like. We don't want to put it over by the sewage, so if we put a couple of water towers in, I think they just make a certain amount. I don't think there is a... I think it is just the same wherever they go. So if we stick them in, again, they'll be able to hive off. They look kind of cool, don't they? Just put some more water up here. Do we need to add them to a pipe? I've never used the water tower, I don't think. Right, so let's now look at the piping. There's their pipe. Where is their pipe? Oh, it's literally right underneath. There you go. So let's just add them in to the service. Bosh. There you go. There is another bit of water. So the amount of water we're producing is huge, really. So the first things first, and you can't actually get any of these other things like education, police, fire, transport, until your population grows a certain amount. And what, if you look down in the bottom right, it's saying that it wants more industry being built. As you can see, there is quite a bit of industry being built here. If we go back onto the inspector and have a look, what do we got? Garments Limited, not operating. Excellent. This one's operating. Operating normally. Very good. It's only got 1 of the 16 workers it needs. So there is a huge amount of management that you can get in here, but people aren't really going to want to be living next to industrial zones. There's going to be a lot of pollution coming out there, and you can look at all of your views. Where's the pollution? There's our water table. We can have a little look. Shows you what's happening with the water. Where's the pollution? Oh, here's the citizen happiness. So these guys aren't happy because they're right underneath these 2 wind turbines and they make a lot of noise. So that's why all these guys aren't very happy. What else have we got around here? Where's the pollution? What does pollution look like? Who knows? Pollution? There you go. And as you can see, the water pumping stations are putting out a little bit of pollution. Not much. But these ones are putting out a load of pollution, as is the sewage, as you would expect. Do we have much traffic? Quite a lot of traffic coming in. A little bit around this intersection, but as your city grows bigger, it will become very apparent as to what is going on there. Outside connections. Oh, look, these guys. What's this? These guys are selling goods to other people outside of the... Oh, no, they're importing. Well, that's interesting. So they're buying stuff. Anybody exporting? No. Cool. So there's a hell of a lot of stuff that you can do, ladies and gentlemen. One of the first things you should do is go to the radio, choose your favorite radio station. I usually leave it on this, and I leave the commercials on. And as you're playing, there is quite a lot of additional stuff you can do. I'm pretty certain you can probably use your own music in some way. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the only thing I wanted to show you, was how to easily set up your power and your water, because they are both very important. And without them at the beginning of the game can feel very frustrating. So set up an easy way of doing it is just put a couple of wind turbines up, drag a pylon all the way to the end and all the way to the other end. On one side put your water pumping stations, and on the other side put your sewage coming out, and then that is you set up for the first part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And then get in and start having a look at all your VODs. It's really... Look, these are all going to work. They're all walking to work. There you go. It's really... It's very, very good, and it doesn't have any of the nonsense that SimCity has. Look, I like SimCity. I still play it, but this is really good. It's real good fun. So it's also telling us we need more residential. Look at that. That's a big... You can, when you look at the... There's a bigger map. You can develop this square, and then you can buy the next plot of land above or left. I think it's like a block of maybe 15 squares like this. How do we look at that, actually? Not sure. There you go, areas. So we're on that one, and then you could... There you go. So you can go to all of these other ones. Yeah, look at that. There's 25. So there's a massive 25 block area that you can eventually fill, and have each area specializing in different things. So that doesn't have much access to the roads, does it? That doesn't have any access to the road. How the hell do people turn up there then? They must just have they must have to come by boat. That's it. That's interesting. I'd never even considered that. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Get your power sorted. Look at those lights there. Why are those lights so bright? It's nice, isn't it? That's just telling me that Fortnite has installed. Are those cars parked? Yeah, they must be parked cars. Yeah, they are. Look at them all parked. Is it parked? It's just sitting there, an SUV. Very nice. There's a Jeep. Another SUV. I'm trying to find a station wagon. I want to find a station wagon, man. No station wagons. That's a Jeep. There you go. Look, another SUV. Ooh, a scooter. Olivia Phillips has a scooter. Good on you. She doesn't live there though. That's weird. Does she live there? No. Does she live here? No. The Underhill residence. But there you are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really lovely game, and it looks great. It plays really well on the PlayStation. So don't be put off by the initial learning curve. Just bear with it, and enjoy yourself. And if you go wrong, get the bulldozer out and just destroy everything. I mean, you shouldn't really do this because everybody's gonna... Well, they're quite happy about that, but now they're not happy. And there is no undo, so if you do that, you are screwed. Bosh, 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 bosh. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy yourselves in City Skylines because it's real good fun.